I'm thinking of some stories clients would tell me. A lady had a cat. The cat was climbing up the curtains all the time, across the curtain rod, up on the bookshelf. And the lady said to me, if I didn't know better, I'd swear that cat was a monkey. And I said, monkey. I wonder if he was a monkey in his past life. On another occasion, somebody was talking about a dog and they said, oh, he looks like a bear. He walks like a bear. Look at him. He's a large dog. It doesn't he look like a bear? And everybody's going, yeah, he looks like a bear. Well, maybe in another life he was a bear, and people are seeing this. They're intuitively looking at this. They're getting the impressions, but they haven't put it together that what they're really seeing is the energy from a previous time. So animals can come back from their own incarnations, I guess, and be a monkey one time and a cat the next, or be an elephant one time and a mouse the next. I don't know. you know, the idea that people come back in your life, and some do and some don't. I guess the ones that don't move on, they have other things to do. I have sort of an understanding of a consciousness in the animal kingdom. What do you think about that? Where
Yeah, I truly believe that. And my belief is, Douglas, if it's in the highest and best for that particular soul's growth to reincarnate as, come back again as a cat, a dog, or whatever they want to come back as, that is possible. I don't think there's a rule book. I don't think there's someone standing there with a checklist and saying, oh, you're a dog, you can only come back as a dog, or you're a cat, or you can only be a cat. You're a human, you can only be a human. I think it's, way more in depth than that. And if it's in the highest and best for your soul's progression in the spiritual sense to expand and evolve and have those experiences, who's to say you can't come back as something else or a different species? I'm certainly not going to put my name down on something that says that can never happen. No way, no way. I never say never, and I never say always, because there's you can't lock yourself in like that. There's so much out there we don't even know. I've only scratched the tip of the iceberg with my experiences, and I've been doing this for 26 years, and I still feel like I have so much more to learn, and there's so much wisdom that the animals can share with us, mostly about how to be a better human. I love that the animals teach us
well said.
how to be better humans. They have taught me so much about life in the afterlife. They're so more accepting of their eventual passing out of physical form into spirit form than we are. They have this sense or knowing that the soul continues that most humans fear. And animals seem to be very accepting of this. Now, don't get me wrong, I've never met an animal that has wanted to die. And, there's a very strong will to survive. And those of us that have had animals that we've cared for, you'll know that they'll kind of fight to the last breath. They'll do everything that they can. But that's Mother Nature, instinct, evolution. That's all those things rolled into one. But they truly have an acceptance of their progression as a physical and spiritual being that I think we have a lot to learn from them.
I know there's uh, therapy pets or pet. There are people who love their animals more than themselves. There's this throughout history. Animals have always been, associated with the clan, the tribe in the cave, around the campfire back in the days. Animals have always had this special relationship with us. And no matter what, some people like reptiles and some people like birds, and it's a preference for the person, but animals always had this intricate relationship with us. Give us another story. We have about another 10 minutes or so left. Tell us another wonderful story that you were going to mention earlier about pets and how they can help us along the way.
Oh, well, absolutely. So, one of the things that happens to us when we lose a beloved companion is, and this has happened to me, I speak from experiences, grief can overwhelm us and it can stagnate us and keep us in a very dark place. If we allow it, these are choices we have to make. Grief is an action. it's movement. We're not meant to stay there. It's a temporary place. And our animals can show us that, it's part of loving someone and having to say goodbye. It's part of our journey, but we're not supposed to stay there indefinitely. We're supposed to experience that because loss is part of your journey with your companion, and it's supposed to hurt. You love something that deeply. Yes, it's going to hurt when they're no longer physically there with you,
But
but
they do come back, right? I mean,
they
that
do.
dog coming back on that lady in the hospital and she could feel him on the bed. I've had other people talk to me, they could feel like their kitty cat walking across their bed.
Yes, yes. And my new book, The Pet I Can't Forget, is full of stories about people having experiences just like that. Some have found, very unusual objects placed in, like, right in their pathway or right where they were going to step or right where they were going to walk. There's one story in the book where the the cat's mom, was just picking up the cremated remains and very distraught and was asking for some kind of sign or just let me know that you're okay. She walks out to her car and there's a giant feather, like 6-inch long feather, plastered to the side of her tire. Not
Wow.
not where she drove over it, but on the side. A 6-inch long feather. It's like, what? How did that get there?
What,
So
what was that
so
meaningful for? Go ahead.
it's incredible signs, finding a lot of the stories will share what I call sky signs, where you will ask for a sign and you look up and you see a rainbow or you see a cloud formation in the shape of your beloved companion, or maybe you see a lot of bird messengers. Birds are messengers of spirit. They love to come in and let you know that your loved one is near. So many people have experienced that, along with dream visitations, where you have this incredibly realistic dream where you wake up expecting to see your companion right there because you felt them. You could feel their fur or feathers or whoever your loved one was. And it was so real. That's because it is real. It's a real visitation. And that's one of the most common ways that they come to us, because our minds are in a relaxed state and we're more open to receiving that visitation than when we're in our cluttery, busy, noisy, conscious, alert state. I have a lot of people write to me saying, I haven't received a sign. I'm heartbroken. Why haven't I gotten a sign? And I write about this too, that some animals don't necessarily feel the need to send a sign, especially the ones that are around us the most. They're with us 24/7 or thereabouts. There's no clocks on in the afterlife,
Yeah,
but
on the other side, that's right.
they
Uh,
don't feel the need to gather up a bunch of energy to send a sign because they're around you all the time, and you become desensitized to their presence because it merges with yours and it's so familiar, you just don't pick up on it. You don't sense it. You don't feel it.
what do you think of this idea? Uh, you lose a pet, you grieve, time goes by, you're never going to have another dog or cat like, like puppy. And then all of a sudden you have a dream and there's puppy, but now a younger whatever puppy. And then, let's say your dog was white and now this is a black dog in your dream and it looks just like your puppy dog, same thing, whatever, looking at you, wagging, looking at you. And then somewhere somebody comes up and says, look at this wonderful puppy. He's looking for a home. And you look at it, that's the one in my dream.
Oh, yes.
You think that's a little sign from the first one to say, I'm coming back?
Oh, yes. They will often do that. They'll send somebody new into your life. And my my best recommendation is pay attention to what's happening around you, because there are signs. Grief can be like a heavy blanket, so you can miss them if you are deeply grieving. And I'm one of the worst. When I'm grieving, I'm like, I go down the rabbit hole and it's like, leave me alone. I just want to be in this little rabbit hole and don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I just want to be in pain. Leave me alone. But if you start paying attention to all the signs and start connecting the dots to all the unusual things that are happening around you, these little, we call them coincidences. They're not. This is synchronicities going, hey, pay attention. I'm with you. I'm around you. It could be a song. It could be a billboard. It could be the license plate in front of you. It could be something written on someone's shirt. I mean, there's so many ways that our loved ones send these spirit messages. And if you just pay attention and if you don't discount them, then you will open a door to receive more messages. And this is what's so important. Even if you think you're not receiving them, I'll bet you anything you are. I'll bet you anything you're getting messages, but for whatever reason, the grief or the sadness or whatever, it's blocking you. But I guarantee you there are signs and messages there. Even this one, if you have a sudden overwhelming surge of emotion thinking about your companion, you may think that's you just missing your companion. It's not. What happens is you're thinking about your companion, it draws them in like a moth to the flame. Your higher self, your soul recognizes their presence, and there's this total overwhelming rush of emotions, uncontrollable emotions that you think is just you thinking about them. It's not. It's your souls recognizing each other, going, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I know you're here. I just felt you. And then that upwelling of emotions that'll strike you at the strangest time, like driving down the road or in the grocery store or when you least expect it. Boom. That's a sign. That's your body having a physical reaction to the presence of your loved one. So I guarantee you, you're getting signs and messages. You just don't realize it, or you want to discount it because it hurts too much. That's another thing. We put up protective shields to stop ourselves from feeling more pain because it hurts. It's horrible. So I'm almost, I can't say always, but almost all the time they do send us signs. We just have to know what to look for and thank them. Be sure you say thank you. I got that. Thank you. I felt that. Thank you. I saw that. And ask for more.
Well said. Well said. I know people in my world have had similar experiences with their pets, and they've say, "Oh, I always know when puppy's around. Like he had a peculiar smell about him, or I could hear a little bell tinkle. That was the bell they had on their collar." And they have these signs. So well said to keep people abreast of that. The animals they drop in on you. And again, when you're shopping or driving a car, you're in kind of like a meditative state. You're not in your thinking state, unless you're angry, of course. And so they're dropping in. So that's well said. I mean, they love us. They do come back. I've had my own dreams about animals that were going to come in my life, and it's happened. But before we end the show, I see that you have a nonprofit sanctuary. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I would love to. So going back to childhood now, I I just rescued animals my whole life, and it was always a dream of mine to have an animal sanctuary. And I made that dream happen. And I am the CEO and founder of Painted Rain Ranch Animal Sanctuary. We are a nonprofit charitable organization, and what we do is we rescue the pets nobody else wants, the ones that are overlooked at the shelters because of their age or their health issues, maybe their special needs, maybe they've just been abandoned, strays. And, many are overlooked because they might have a missing limb, or they might be blind, or they might be diabetic, or whatever. I bring them here to our ranch. I live in Eastern Washington on 30 acres. It's beautiful green trees all around, rolling hills, open fields and pastures. And they live out the rest of their natural life here on the ranch with my husband and we are passionate about giving these animals a second chance and a forever loving home. They'll never be adopted out. They stay here. This is their home. They're part of the family, and they live a very happy and spoiled life here with us. And all the proceeds from my books and my online beginner's course for animal communication, the proceeds go to the nonprofit. So I have completely devoted myself and my life and my work to help the animals in need.
Today's guest was Karen Anderson. Go to her website and you'll find several books that you can purchase, and some are on Amazon. You can donate, or you can find out more about the Painted Rain Ranch Animal Sanctuary. It's been amazing to have you on the show today, Karen. You've had an amazing career. You are a courageous woman. You are a saint in the making. Let me put it that just comes to my mind as I say that. So thank you very much for being on this show.
Thank you. But real quickly, it's KarenAnderson.net.
Sorry.
.net. It's okay. KarenAnderson.net. Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity to share so much.
Once again, my friends, you've been listening to the Douglas James Cottrell show on my channel. Please go to my website, douglasjamescottrell.com, and there you will find links to the Global International Radio Show and also the podcast Wake Up, as well as all the other places you can find this broadcast being rebroadcast in time. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas James Cottrell. Until next time, remember the journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning. I wish you peace and prosperity. Until next time, God bless.